Congratulations, you just got engaged and you're thinking about planning a destination wedding. Hold on, let's talk about some of the important steps and things you have to think about. Hi, I'm Jack with Vacationeeze. If this is your first time seeing one of my videos, welcome. I've been posting videos every week for about the past 4 years, so feel free to search back and you'll see there's about 300 videos about planning a destination wedding. So you got engaged, thinking about planning a destination wedding. Let me give you some hints of things I think you have to think about before you really get into planning a destination wedding. Now, the first thing I want to tell you is congrats. It's a great idea. Destination weddings are amazing. We've been doing them for 20 years or more. I think if you do have one, your guests are all going to have a great time. But let's talk about the things you have to think about. Number one thing you should think about is don't DIY your destination wedding. No way, no how. Find someone like us, Vacationeeze, or a travel professional that focuses on destination weddings. Why? You need an advocate. You need someone that knows the resorts. You need someone that can help you through the process. Do not book with a resort directly. Do not have your best friend help you plan your wedding and contact 30 resorts. You're never going to know the reality. Don't spend all your time looking at Facebook groups and all over the internet. Find someone that can get you the down and dirty truth about these resorts. Some of the resorts are very deceptive in how they market. The fine print that you don't know the questions to ask that we do can help you. So again, first rule I tell you if you are planning a destination wedding, if you want to have fun doing it, is find a travel professional that has been doing destination weddings for a while, that knows what they're doing, and do not DIY your destination wedding. Okay, once you've done that, the next thing you want to do is think about your guests. Okay, this is important. Who are you going to invite? Now, I don't need to know the names, but first thing you have to think about, is it a family-friendly destination wedding, meaning you're going to have guests under 18 there, or is it adults only? Why? Because if you were thinking of doing what I would call a sun and fun beach destination wedding, some are adults only resorts and some are family friendly. And you want to know that up front so you don't fall in love with the resort and ultimately find out it's not a good fit for you. Okay, now talking about a good fit, how do you know what is a good fit or not? It's a really good question, which goes back to my point number one. Don't DIY it. When you work with a travel professional, they're going to ask you a bunch of questions so they can identify resorts which are a great fit. Hey, it's not bad if you've seen resorts, stayed at a resort, or have some ideas. We want to take that all in, but we need to make sure that it's a good fit for you. Now, the other thing, when you look at your guests, now this is going to help. Think about who they are, how well traveled they are, and the needs and wants that they're going to have for their vacation, which is in essence what you're planning. The other thing you want to think about is, when do you want to have your destination wedding? What month? Is there a specific date? Is there a specific day of the year? These things are all important. So when you think about that, you need to look at where you're having your wedding and the date. Now, why do I say that? So there's a couple things. Let's go on the premise you want to go to Cabo and you want to get married in January. Well, here's the thing. The weather in Cabo is not very warm. Now, compared to, say, Chicago or Boston, it's really warm. But if you're thinking you're going to be laying out on the beach and going in the pools, it's important that if you have a date you want to make sure, such as Cabo in January, you may need to find a resort that has heated pools because the water in the pools is going to be slightly cooler. The opposite is, let's say you're thinking about a European vacation destination wedding and you decide you want to go to Greece. Hey, that's great. But you think in Greece in March, same thing. If you're thinking the islands of Greece, Mykonos, Santorini, or Paros, or any of the places in Greece, The problem is in those times of the year, there's really nothing doing there. The beach clubs aren't open yet. Some of the hotels aren't even open. So the seasonality of what you're looking for is very important. What I would tell you is if you're talking about a sun and fun beach destination wedding, the majority of our weddings are in Mexico or the Caribbean. What you'll find is the cooler it is where you live, so if you live in Boston, Philadelphia, Chicago, wherever that may be, the colder it is where you live, the higher the prices are where the resorts are. So you want to look at that seasonality in terms of the price. When are the prices lower? When are the prices higher? That's going to be important for you because the wedding packages prices may vary, as well as the room rates for your guests may vary. Now the other thing when we're talking about your guests, let's think about where are your guests flying from? And why is that important? Because you may think that you want to have your destination wedding in Hawaii, but you live in Bar Harbor, Maine, and most of your guests are coming from New England. Well, the first thing you need to do is think about, can you get from here to there easily? And again, I think the key word is easily, because with air travel today, you can get from where to anywhere, but it's just price and convenience. What I always advise with the destination wedding is try to find someplace you can fly from where you and the majority of your guests live that is a non-stop flight. Why do I say that? Because a non-stop flight means it's easy for your guests and the fares typically are a little bit lower. Now, if you live in the middle of nowhere or someplace that doesn't have great air connectivity to warm weather destinations, then I would say you want to find something that has one stop. So maybe through Miami, Charlotte, Philadelphia. But you really want to keep this easy and convenient for your guests. So that's the important thing. What you can do is, let's say in your mind you have an idea, I want to have my destination wedding in Antigua. What you should probably do is go online, find the airline that services where most of you and your guests live, and just check a flight to see, can you get from, say, Des Moines, Iowa to Antigua easily, and what is the cost of airfare? Not specifically around when your wedding will be, just pick a date within a couple months from when you're looking, because that'll give you a sense of when the travel patterns are. Now, what that helps you define where's realistic to have your destination wedding. Now, if you ask me, what I will tell you is we as Vacationeeze, who's been doing weddings for a long time, what we see is the majority of our weddings from people from the northeastern part of the country are going to be in 3 places. Cancun, Riviera Maya, flying into Cancun, but it could be Cancun, could be Riviera Maya, could be Playa del Carmen, could be Tulum, typically non-stop flights from a lot of East Coast cities. That's our number 1 destination for our destination weddings. Number 2 would be Jamaica, and Jamaica could be Montego Bay, it could be Ocho Rios, or it could be Negril. And tied with number 2 is going to be the Dominican Republic, and most of the time we're talking about Punta Cana, where there's a lot of resorts. So I think when you look at your guests and you, that'll help. If you're coming from the West Coast, we may change that a little bit. You may say, look, maybe it's Vallarta, maybe it's Riviera Nayarit, maybe it's Cabo de San Lucas, maybe it's Costa Rica. So I think the key is you want to make this convenient and easy for your guests. Now my last thing is, once you've picked the destination, you have to pick the resorts. And again, that goes back to number 1 again, which is don't DIY it. Work with a travel professional that knows the reality of the resorts. Yes, you can read stuff all over the place, but what we know is the real vacation experience. We know which wedding teams are good to work with because the vacation experience at a resort may be good, but the wedding team may be terrible. Or we may know where we can get pricing that's amazing for you, or perks and freebies for you. So again, congrats for planning a destination wedding. Congrats on your engagement. It's amazing. But if you're planning that destination wedding, I think these are the few things you want to think about until you start really getting deep into the researching or working with a travel professional. The other thing you should know is I would suggest that you give yourself 1 year from when you start planning to your destination wedding. We always suggest giving your guests 9 months to a year, because this way they can take time off from work, they have plenty of time to plan, and plus they have plenty of time to pay for this unexpected vacation that they're going to be attending. If you have any other questions about planning a destination wedding, feel free to leave a comment or email me at jack@vacationeeze. And again, feel free to take a look through all my videos. I post new videos every Tuesday, and I have probably about 300 of them up on this YouTube channel. So again, congrats for getting engaged. Hopefully you plan a destination wedding, and hopefully we at Vacationeeze can help you plan your destination wedding.